Assalamu alaikum. This is virtual class of Pakistan International School Thaif. I am Muhammad Yasin. This is English class for the students of grade 8. We shall start Brighter Grammar 6 today from chapter 2. This is our fourth video lesson in class 8. At the end of today's lesson, the students will be able to understand the background of verb tenses. What are tenses? They will be able to understand the background, the context. They will be able to get a general idea of the tenses. At the same time, after having general idea of the tenses, we shall start simple present tense also. They will get more understanding of this tense. In the same way, they will be able to do exercise 6. Dear students, let us try to understand what are verb tenses. When we say tenses, what is that? In fact, verb tense is the quality of verb that helps us to figure out the time of action happening in a sentence. When we read a sentence, as I have given here one sentence, that is, she goes to school. In this sentence, goes is the verb tense which tell us when this action happens. When this action happens or happened or is happening or will happen. To understand this action, we need to know the time of the action and aspect of the action. Let us move forward and try to understand what are tenses. Verb has two parts. In each sentence, we use a verb. In each sentence, we use a verb. There are two parts of the verb form. One part is called time and the other part is aspect. Verb form tells us the time of the action and aspect of the action. Let us try to understand what is the time of the verb and aspect of the verb. When we say time of the verb, it means present, past, or future. There are three times. Time can be present, it can be past, it can be future. What is aspect? Remember, each verb form has two parts. One is time, one is aspect. during the lesson, we shall try to memorize it also. Each verb form has two parts. One is the time, other is the aspect. What can be the time? Time can be present, past, future. What can be the aspect? Aspect can be simple, continuous, perfect, or perfect continuous. These are four aspects of the verb. Let us move forward. Dear students, as we discussed, there are three types of time. Each verb form has two parts. One part is time and the other part is aspect. What is time? Present, past, future. What are the aspects? Simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. When these types of time combine with types of aspect, they make tense. They make tense. For example, when present will join simple, it will become present simple. When present will join with continuous, it will become present continuous. When present will join perfect, it will become present perfect. When present will join with perfect continuous, it will become present perfect continuous. In the same way, past will join with each to make tenses, and future will also join with each aspect to make tenses. This table is filled, as I told you on previous slide. When present join with simple, it becomes present simple. When present join with continuous, it becomes present continuous. When present join with perfect, it becomes present perfect. All these tenses are written here. Sorry. They become 12. They become 12. This is the first page of chapter 2. This is the first page of chapter 2, which we are going to start today. At this page, there is some detail of tenses. Let us read and try to understand. I have changed it a little to increase the visibility because it is written so small. On the next slide, I have written the tenses only. These sentences I have written on the next slide to see it more clearly. It looks like this. This is exactly the same page which you have in your book. I have colored it a little and I have drawn these yellow boxes in the middle which are not there in your book. Otherwise, all these sentences are the same which are there in your book. I shall repeat what we have done. We know tenses. Verb tense is the quality of verb which tell us about the time of the action and aspect of the action. Each verb form has two parts. One part tells us about the time, other part tells us about the aspect. Times are three: present, past, future. Aspects are four: simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. In this way, we find 12 tenses. We find 12 tenses. On the screen, you can find 12 sentences. Each sentence is presenting a tense. Each sentence is presenting a tense. First three are in simple. Simple means present simple, past simple, future simple. Next three are in continuous aspect. These three are given in continuous aspect. Continuous means present continuous, past continuous, future continuous. In the same way, next three are in perfect. These three are in perfect aspect. And the last three are in perfect continuous. Okay. To understand the tenses, what is important to understand? What should we know if we want to understand the tenses? If you look at the screen, all these sentences are looking similar, except the use of verb. Except the use of verb. When a tense changes, verb changes. When a tense changes, verb changes. How do we come to know that the tense has changed, time has changed, aspect has changed? How do we come to know? We come to know by looking at the verb. We come to know by looking at the verb. This means if we want to understand the tenses, we should try to understand how the verb changes when a tense changes. Let us start. When it is present simple, it is written she eats an apple. When it changes into past simple, it becomes she ate an apple. Eats has changed into ate. In third sentence, it has become She will eat an apple. This is future simple. Look at these three sentences once again. All these three are showing simple aspect but different times. The first one is showing present simple, in which the verb is used eats. The second one is past simple, in which the verb is used ate. And the third one is future simple, in which the verb is used will eat. It is important to understand and remember it. In simple aspect, verb changes as eats, ate, will eat. Let us move to the continuous. In continuous, there will be used is, are, am, was, were, will, shall, and there will be ing at the end of the verb. Present continuous will become is eating. Past continuous will become was eating. Future continuous will become will be eating. It is to understand and memorize. If we could memorize this table, it will be easy for us forever to understand the tenses. If we understand it once in a life, it helps us throughout the life. It is not to discuss, to read, to study again and again. This is lifetime property. We should try to understand it at this level. If we could, it will help us throughout our life. Yes, students, we learned when we move from present simple to present continuous, the verb becomes is eating. In present simple, it was eats. It becomes is eating. In the same way, ate becomes was eating, will eat becomes will be eating. Let us move to the perfect aspect. Present perfect becomes has eaten. It was eats, it became is eating, then it becomes has eaten. Ate becomes was eating, and then had eaten. Will eat becomes will be eating and will have eaten. In the same way, in perfect continuous aspect, present perfect continuous, the verb becomes has been eating, had been eating, will have been eating. The same thing is written in another way on next slide. Let us move to that to understand it more properly. Here you can see the frame is same. Frame is same. Present simple, present continuous, present perfect continuous, and with past also. In this table, the facility is that you can memorize it in any way. From present simple to present perfect continuous, from left to right, or from up to down, as you like, you can learn it. This is to memorize, to get guidelines about our tenses in our future. For example, in simple, eats changes into ate and will eat. In continuous, it becomes is eating, was eating, will be eating. In perfect, it becomes has eaten, had eaten, will have eaten. In perfect continuous, it becomes has been eating, had been eating, will have been eating. You can memorize it like this, and you can memorize it from left to right also, as you like. The method is read it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Try to understand it. How the verb is changing from one form to another to give a new tense. How the verb is changing. Try to understand and then try to memorize it. You will understand it. Here is a little test. What you learned in our today's lesson, you try your knowledge to answer these questions. If you could not, no problem. You try. I shall give you sentence. You will tell the tense. You can see a sentence here. The sentence is, I was having dinner at this time yesterday. I was having dinner at this time yesterday. Try to tell the tense of this sentence. What is this? Present simple, present continuous, present perfect continuous, past simple, past continuous, past perfect continuous. What is the tense of this sentence? Yes, you try. Could you find? I'll show you the answer. This is past continuous. Let us see the next sentence. Try to find out the tense. Could you find? I'll show you the answer. Present perfect continuous. I'll show you the next sentence. Try to find out the tense. Could you find? I'll show you the answer. This is future simple. If you could not answer, no problem. You practice, you will understand. No problem. Let us move next. After having a general idea of the tenses, I know we have not learned the tenses yet. This was a general idea of the tenses. General information. Now we shall move to the specific information about the tenses. We shall discuss them one by one deeply. We shall understand. Inshallah. No problem will be there. Let us start from present simple. Present simple, when we write a sentence, first of all we write the subject. Then there is verb. Verb will be in present form. For example, she eats an apple. Eats is the verb. She is the subject. We use this tense to mention repeated actions. For example, I go to school every day. She goes to the market once a week. These are the repeated actions. We use present simple tense to mention, to show repeated actions. In the same way, we use this tense to show permanent truths. For example, sun rises in the east, honesty is the best policy. In the same way, we use it to show habitual actions. She wakes up early in the morning. We use this tense in such type of actions. This is the exercise that is given in our book. Now we shall try to do it. It is I dash in the river every morning. We shall use the correct form of this verb swim. This is the exercise of present simple tense. We know it will be in present form. Only here to care about is that we shall use S with the first form or not. S will be used with first form when the subject is he, she, it or singular form. If it is I, we, you, they, we shall not use S. What will be the correct answer? I swim. Second part, she hates. There will be S with the first form because she is a singular subject. And we know with singular subject, verb will also be singular. And verb is singular when there is S with it. Let us move to the next. I usually drink. Do you intend? Number 5. She feels happy whenever I meet her. Part number 6. They see 2 films every month. Like always, goes. We shall write S with the first form of the verb to agree with the subject because subject is singular. Every time that she tries, she fails. I usually carry. The Prime Minister is. Dear students, it is very important to do the same things once again at home. You will read page 12 given in your book a few times and try to understand how the verb is changing when the tense is changing. Try to understand how the verb changes. Secondly, you will do the exercise 6 in your notebook. This is exercise 6. I show you again. You will do it. You write complete sentences. Don't write words only. In each part, don't write one word only. In each part, you will write a complete sentence. To do exercise 6, you should have written 10 sentences. This will be your homework. That is all from our today's lesson. See you later in our next lesson. Until then, goodbye.